Like, what is actually your Twitch?
Grants.
Twitch too easy.
Slash
Oh
buttons.
my dick.
Shall I put out a message saying this recording here?
Like after, I don't know. Grants. You gotta send the link. There are way too many channels called grants.
Shall I say like recording going down here and stuff?
No.
Alright, just wanted to know if you guys want anything to happen.
I'll send it in Discord.
Yeah, we'll just send the fucking live stream, and people will get there soon enough. I can't wait for a shootout.
You want me to host?
Yeah, like you can also just stream it. I don't really care.
Hey Fisher, do you have any bandages?
Bandages, I don't think so,
there.
no.
I have some chicken tacos and like some chicken taco if you want to.
No, I need something to heal me. I'm on half health.
Chris, why you left?
Because there was some bug. No one was on the server for me.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then you just have to reconnect. Like a Vortex can't join. He's too sick. Mentally.
Sick.
Alright, so you ready?
Mentally.
I am.
When the fuck did he get sick?
Alright.
Everyone be quiet.
This is Weazel News live on scene with with current running government official.
All clear outside.
Mason.
Yeah, it's already happening.
Alright, sir.
What's the
question
stream then?
The first question I have for you is hold on, where is it? God damn it! I have to.
What
What
is he? He's not streaming it.
What will you change in the city, sir?
Yes.
Like.
Well, first off, Gerald, I wanna thank you for inviting me here today. It's a pleasure to be here and to have the opportunity to answer some questions that a lot of people have. I think it's very good that we got the media covering on this, so that way the word gets out that we're going to have big changes come to our state, and I think it's an honor to be here with you all, gentlemen. So I appreciate you for the invitation and for the opportunity to speak with you. My campaign is primarily focused on taking our state back by force. We've got a lot of big promises coming up. We've got a lot of big changes in the works. I've been in contact with several state officials, you know, the commander of the state police, you know, the state commissions on education, review, boards, everything, transportation. We're going to get our state back and moving the way it was always supposed to be. Got a lot of big plans coming up. You know, I've been in contact with the State Department, the U.S. Justice Department, everybody. So we seem to have good things coming our way. But we just got to get past the election first. That's the first obstacle.
No, okay, then
we
will not
want
be
to cover
streaming.
everything that's possible and ask from the public and see what people see what actually.
Who has the stream?
See who has.
Oh, but yeah, it's already put in Hotshot.
All right.
Absolutely.
Second question. What do you think you will make what improvements will you make to the city for like civilians, EMS, police, you know, all the hardworking people, sir?
Right. That's a very valid question, and I think that's one of the biggest ones that people seem to have.
Yeah, it's all clear outside, nothing happening.
Mind you, I've been with the state police for quite some time. You know, outside of my campaign, I'm a lieutenant.
I think a car just pulled up.
We've seen that
It's me.
you've had multiple.
Oh, okay.
There's a civilian cop car there as well, I think.
So like we've got that covered already. We just wanted to know that which improvements would you like to see like that you would like to see, you know, like on the like you think is necessary for the city.
Well, I think our biggest thing is we need to get our judicial system back on track, back and running. My first act of governor is going to be the reinstallment of the court system and our judicial branch of our state government. We need to have judges. I think that's our biggest thing, because right now, with San Andreas going through such reform that it is, a lot of the judge jury,
You want me
and in some
inside or?
cases, execution powers fall specifically to the
I'll come
state
out.
police. And
I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
those troopers have a hard enough job as it is. So the biggest thing, we need to get our judges sworn in and on the bar, so that way they can start reviewing felony crimes, misdemeanors,
You can come
so
inside.
that way it's not all on the state police, because they have enough to
I don't
worry
know.
about.
Oh, wait, there. I
With
said
that comes need for an attorney. We need to have several attorneys to assist the judges. We need to
how many
ensure
people
that
are on the server?
people who are being taken
They-
off the streets for
they should
criminal
have-
charges are having due process
We should have
and
like
are receiving
shared
the fullest
the
extent
Twitch link
of the
more
United States court system.
multiple times.
Fluffy.
So
Yeah.
my very first thing I'm going to do is find a judge,
I was just about to say that.
nominate him. If he's confirmed by the state legislature, he'll be sworn in, and he will effectively take over the majority of our heavy crime cases. I know San Andreas is big for bank robberies, you know, so we're going to try to get our judicial system back on track.
Alright, nice. Okay, this is one is from like a few people that I've heard. It's like, why do you think, like, in your mindset, right? You're the better governor here. Like, you're the better candidate, in your mindset, sir.
Well, I'm a man who wants to see our community
Why am I
strive.
cuffed?
I'm somebody that wants to go the extra mile and actually take charge and show people
I'm getting arrested for some fucking
the
reason.
potential that all of us have. Every day I come on duty, whether it's, you know, campaigning for governor or for my job as a detective, and I see such pride and such potential with the citizens of our state, and I want to help mold that into something great. I want to make it better than what it is, and I feel the best way that I can do that is as your governor, and that's why I'm running, because I want to explore and expand the potential that I believe our great state has, and as governor, that's exactly what I intend to do.
Alright, sir, this one is from me personally. Do you believe in the Fourth
Okay.
Amendment right that we should be able to carry shotguns out on the street? This is in the
Saying
sense-
carrying shotguns is a
yeah.
Fourth Amendment right?
Well, technically, right? Because
Because
you're allowed
Fourth
to
Amendment
use-
typically deals with searches and seizures.
yeah, I mean,
You're talking
like
more
the-
of the Second Amendment.
Yeah, Second Amendment. Sorry. Yeah, I meant. Sorry, I mistyped that. My bad.
You're okay.
Yeah, the
Well,
Second Amendment right
I bel-
that to carry a gun on you, but I mean, why? Like, in my opinion, like the shotgun is a little bit too much. Don't you think, sir?
I'm a very vivid supporter of our Second Amendment. I believe it's necessary for the security and liberty of the United States. It's primarily one of the biggest reasons why we haven't been invaded. You take a look around the world, you have roughly 48, 50 million military members combined in the entire world, and there's almost 90 to 100 million armed Americans alone. So that says something about our national security. I'm a very vivid supporter of our Second Amendment. I'm a very vivid supporter of open carry. However, you have to look at this from a logistics standpoint, all right? And this falls heavily on the state police and their standards. It's not entirely practical for somebody to open carry a 12-gauge shotgun in public. It's not exactly something that you need for a self-defense role. I'm a very vivid supporter of open carry, especially, you know, concealed handguns, firearms, everything like that. I just don't think that I don't think it's entirely, yeah, Gerald, I don't think it's entirely practical to carry a shotgun, however, on the streets of Los Santos, which is already a pretty high volatile city as it is right now.
Exactly. All right, thank you for that answer. All right, the next question I have is, would you be able to speak openly about any subject? So, any subject of the matter that would be. So basically, like a subject comes up, like, oh, like somebody has like a problem with a state official, say, right? And like you hear about this, and would you be open like to talk to both parties and and be open for like communication and that kind of stuff, sir? Like how would you?
Well, as, well, as governor, I would serve as the head of state. I would essentially be the highest-ranking state official in San Andreas. Part of those responsibilities involves inspections and audits of federal agencies, such as the state police. At any time, I'd be able to walk in and review criminal records, supervise training, uh, and basically just audit them. Find out how we're running things, how training is being conducted. And a lot of that with your question, if somebody has an issue with, another official or they don't feel like they're being treated fairly, a lot of that falls under my audit procedures as well. So yes, I can't foresee any situation where I would say no, your opinion doesn't matter. I don't foresee myself saying that. So yeah, if somebody has an issue and they feel like they're not, being treated fairly, of course I'm going to look into that because that's part of my responsibilities. You know, if I'm fortunate to hold the office of governor, my job would be to ensure that everybody is being treated fairly. And with that, I fully intend to create a cabinet who is going to help me, audit these agencies and see what we can do to make them better. So yeah, Gerald, I fully intend to do that.
All right, sir. And then like reminder on this, like would anybody be able to talk to you at any time possible? So for example, like if you're in the city, like right, and somebody has an urgent question, like regarding something, would they be possible to contact you immediately, or does he need to follow like a chain of command?
Well, let's not gray the lines here. I'm going to be the governor, so naturally with that I'm going to have a staff. But if I'm never unavailable for somebody. Everybody knows how to reach out to my office. Everybody is going to know the contact numbers for my office, for my chief of staff, for my secretaries. So it's never going to be impossible for somebody to ask me a question or reach out to me with a concern. We're going to make all of these numbers public. We're going to make all of these cabinet appointments known so people know who to go to. So it's going to be a very transparent administration. I promise you that.
All right, sir. So this is the second to last question I have for you, sir.
Floor, move him out at least.
Yeah.
All right, back from commercial break.
Alright, okay, 1 second. Sorry about that, guys. We had some technical difficulties while we were recording this. Sorry about this, Mr. Mason.
No, you're fine.
Where's our camera guy? I can be
I'm
the.
you know.
Let me just take. I'll.
Alright. So, like as I was saying, so
Yep.
So imagine you being caught up in a case, right? Like we're trying to see your mindset in this, right? Let's say, for example, like a state official like fires, I don't know, like an unauthorized gunshot to a car that he's trying to chase down, and he's endangering himself, but also the public, right? And he's not valid to shoot the tire, right? But he shoots anyway at that point in time. What would your situation in this be, sir? Would you praise him with a iron hand? Would you see what his instigation was, stuff like that, sir? I would like to know what your mindset
Review the
and
camera. Let me move you.
and all of this would be.
I'm not exactly understanding the question that you're asking me. Are you talking like if a state trooper is in pursuit with somebody?
And he fires a round to somebody's tire, and and he was not meant to do that, and it's just he wanted to end the pursuit, so to say, as quickly as possible, and catch the guy, right?
Okay, and you're telling me that he's not authorized to do that?
He was not authorized to do so, but he did it anyway, and he caught the perpetrator, and he put them behind bars, and then he came to your desk saying that he got fired upon while he was not even doing anything. He was just driving away from the cop. Like what would your situational feel be like this?
Okay, all right, look. Every state trooper has to go through a type of training academy, okay? They get evaluated on their ability to perform their use of force tactics, trainings, and procedures. The state police right now has extensive training supervision, training videos, training manuals, everything that somebody would need to understand basic law and order. And I'm very pleased with the leaders of the state police for putting all that together, because we don't want somebody who's untrained, patrolling the streets. Now, let me explain this to you, okay?
Mm-hmm.
In any use of force situation, all right, there's several things that an officer has to consider, okay? Let's talk deadly force, for example, because that's the biggest one.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of, there's basically a war on police going on right now.
Are people allowed to
And,
go in on
and
that?
let me kind of clear up some confusion that most people seem to have. In any use of force situation, all right,
Unless
there's
it's
two
the other
things
party.
you got to consider. There's two things that are needed before an officer can deploy deadly force. Deadly force is used primarily in self-defense. That's the first and foremost thing. And in defense of another person, provided that the other person would have legal justification to employ deadly force. Okay. You also got to consider that the actions taken were necessary, the actions taken were reasonable, that the actions taken conformed to employer policy and training. And the biggest thing, and I'm a firm believer of this, and I think this answers your question, is that harm would come to the officer or to somebody else if force had not been used. All right, so let's analyze what I mean by that. You say a trooper is in pursuit of somebody going like a crazy, crazy speed through busy city streets, okay? And you're saying that the trooper shoots out his tires.
Yes.
I'm surprised that's all the trooper does. Because if you're chasing somebody that's going 90 to 100 miles an hour through the city streets, okay? That person obviously has no intention of being caught, and he is going to do everything in his power to evade arrest, even if that means endangering somebody of the public. I've seen it happen several times, and I have personally been in those situations before, where somebody has ran from me. I've always caught them. You cannot run from me. You cannot hide from me, because I will find you and I will lock you away. And in your situation where the trooper is chasing somebody who is an extreme threat to the general public, I will back whatever decision that trooper has to make. 100%. Because that trooper is putting his life in danger so you can live another day. Does that answer your question,
Yes,
sir?
Yes, sir, that answered perfectly. Actually, that was was expecting to hear that.
Yeah, let there be no confusion
No.
on this.
No.
Okay.
There's no confusion.
Yeah,
It's
I
exactly
100% support
thought
this.
was gonna happen.
Yeah, I 100% support the state police in any decision that they have to make. And I'm not saying that from a biased point of view, because I'm a lieutenant with them. I'm saying that from a father's point of view, from a civilian's point of view, from a veteran's point of view. I fully support the decisions that the state police has to make and their use of force training. All right, because at the end of the day, if things go wrong, those are the kind of people that you want to have your back. And I've served with them personally. They're the best people I know. And as governor, I'm going to do whatever I can to ensure that they are in a position to win. I'm going to ensure they have the funds that they need. I'm going to ensure they have the equipment that they need. Because the last thing that I want to have happen on my watch is my state police agency does not have the funds or the equipment needed to protect my citizens. And that is never going to happen. I'm always going to place our citizens, our state police, our emergency services in a situation where they can win.
Yes, thank you, sir.
I do not expect anything less.
Alright, the final question I have from like an old EMS staff, like he got treated with like he went to calls, and he pretty much did his job very well, and he got
Hey,
promoted
this is
to
security out front.
and lieutenant. He got promoted to a lieutenant, and pretty much he didn't
Someone's
get the
coming
respect. He didn't get the respect he deserved from not only the civilians, right, but also like maybe fellow EMS, and like have you any like are you gonna change anything with the EMS scene, or are you gonna more look into that maybe? Because he's worried about like the respect that the current EMS staff is getting from the public.
Is that a fact?
This is a factor.
Well, let me
we-
explain.
Trooper, is there a reason
Let-
you're taking pictures?
Let me explain this to you, okay? The emergency services, whether it's state
No,
police,
I'm talking about
EMS,
I'm talking about the
fire.
EMS
I'm going to
side of
I'm going to answer. Please don't interrupt me. I'm going to answer your question. Okay. The emergency services, whether it be state police, EMS, fire, okay, that is not a position of glory
have a
or
genuine idea
honor
on the
or
interview, Gerald.
fame or what have you. They are support
guy out front.
for the public. They provide safety and security for the public. Okay? Now, the lieutenant in question, he obviously earned his promotion. He obviously worked day in and day out to earn his promotion, and that's admirable. And everybody who serves in emergency services should look to him for an example. But the thing is, though, it's not every day you're going to be appreciated for the things that you do. I have this motto, okay, and those who have known me for a long time have heard me say it before. Strive to be worthy. Strive to be worthy is a phrase that I would like every emergency services personnel to remember. Okay? You are striving to be worthy of the respect and trust of those who you protect. Okay? It's not the other way around. They're not supposed to honor you. They're not supposed to salute you. You are supposed to honor them. Because those are the people that you put your own life in danger for. Those are the people who look up to you for support when times are tough. It's not the other way around. It's not always going to be a glorious profession. You're not always going to get medals. You're not always going to get promotions. That should be secondary in your mind. The very thing that should be at the forefront of your mind as a trooper, as a firefighter, as a paramedic, as a teacher, as a doctor, as a lawyer, as a judge, as a civilian, should be the strength and coming together of a community as a whole, not personal pride or personal gain. Congratulations to that lieutenant who was promoted, but never lose sight of the fact of why you joined to begin with. You joined to serve the public. They don't serve you. That's my answer to your question.
Alright, sir. That's all for this candidate. I think the next candidate is around here. So thank you, Mr. Mason, for this fabulous interview. Thank you for your time. I think I will see you, and I will see you at on Saturday.
Yeah,
Gerald.
definitely. I encourage everybody to come out on Saturday. It's going to be our first town hall debate against me and my opponent. Lieutenant Governor candidate Horton is going to be there to support me. And it's going to be an opportunity for everybody to ask me questions directly, not just you, Gerald. I appreciate your time and interviewing me, but I hope that we can get everybody in attendance because I want to hear from everybody. If I'm going to represent everybody, I want to hear everybody. I want to hear their concerns, what they want to see differently. So definitely come out on Saturday. Thank you for your time, Gerald.
Thank you for your time, sir.
Yep. All right.
Gerald's hot.